So today's March 23rd, and I would like to do a reading on Dr. Fauci. Everyone's asking, where's Dr. Fauci? He hasn't been present at the press conferences, the last few, and people really have grown to trust his voice, and people are a little worried. He also would sometimes correct Donald Trump, the president, I guess, when Trump would get things wrong or say something that could be misleading, but I thought he's always been very respectful to the president. He's just trying to be a fact-based person. He's not trying to be judgmental. He's just trying to, do his job. And also he did a article that came out over the weekend in Scientific Magazine, I think it was, and he acknowledges that aspect of the job, waiting for Trump to finish talking and sometimes getting things wrong and then having to correct it. And he says, well, what are you going to do? I just wait until he's finished and then I try to correct anything that I think that, he got wrong, which a normal person would be able to handle, but a malignant narcissist like Donald Trump, that's like the worst thing you can do. You're supposed to be if you're not a complete loyalist, and you're not praising him as like this genius God king who can do no wrong, then you're an enemy of his and you have to go. So is he gonna go? Let's see what the cards say. This Nine of Cups, normally this card would mean is a strong card. You've got a lot going for you and you are quite comfortable with all of that. So I'd say that it still applies to him. In this artist's cards, she looks a little sad and alone. Or maybe I'm just feeling that because maybe that's a little bit of how he's feeling. He does have it all. He has, he has the smarts and the wisdom, and he's compassionate and he's well-spoken and he's, well-versed and well-respected and all of these great things, but he looks like he's kind of sitting on the beach wondering what in the world he's supposed to be doing, and this kind of acknowledges that as well, covered by this, I think he has a lot to offer, and it's covered by this card, Two of Swords, which is a card of inaction or waiting to see what's going to happen. You see the blindfold on tells me he doesn't really know what's going on either. And it's almost like he's in a timeout. And I don't think he is being really told why or what. It's not really being explained to him. He's just sort of being left out, I think. At the surface, the world, this is how the world, his reputation has risen in the world. And it's really interesting because if it's true that Trump just is taking him out and just putting him in a closet, and don't fire him, just don't let him be out there because I don't want anyone to talk about him, it's actually having the opposite effect. The world is saying, where is he? We trust him. He seems to be the one who knows what's going on. I also think that Deborah Birx also does, but still it's nice to have both of them there. And I also felt like he's very comfortable with himself. And I got that from his article as well. The question being, are you afraid you're going to upset anyone if you correct, the president and he says, well, I'm just going to do what I need to do. I'm not going to stop saying what the world, the facts that the world, the information that the world needs to hear. I'm just going to keep. So he's 81 years old or something. He's quite comfortable being himself and in his truth. And then at the base, I see the Lovers, which tells me he's talking with someone. Even though he's been left out, there is someone talking to him. Maybe it is that Deborah Birx or someone who's keeping him in the loop, who's letting him still be a part of it, even if he's been sort of elbowed out for the time being. So and maybe there's a plan to sort of start their own way of getting information out to the people. Like if worst comes to worst, that they can have an outlet for getting their information out because their reputations have risen and people trust them and they want to do what they can to give people true information. In the past, I think this is the job that was given to him, and I think that this is him being fired, and I think that's coming. Now, it did cross my mind, is it possible that he's out sick? Did he get the virus? And, but I don't think so. I also see these cards as he's just a guy who's looking at the virus and how it's spreading in the world and how other countries are dealing with it. He's just collecting information. He's, he doesn't have an ego about it. He's just collecting information and trying to do the work that he's been put in place to do. And there's a woman, I don't know if it's the same woman as here, or this could also be a wife that he's spending time with right now. And there's a lot of emotion there. It could also be someone who's worried. If it is this woman, he's working with someone who's worried about what's happening. Like, how do we deal with this president who only wants people to agree with him as opposed to wanting the truth to be out there? And you don't want to cross him because then you're out too. And then you just have like Trump and Bill Barr up there just saying, let's get everybody back to work. Workers, workers, workers. And that's concerning. And his fear is just that that they're still not gonna, it's like, let me work and talk to the people or let me go. Don't just keep me hanging around, because that's just useless. Like, he'd rather find his own, maybe he wants to go ahead and be on MSNBC or something and talk to people. And then I see, and then these two cards popped out for like long-term outcome. And I think that what would happen if he gets fired is that they're gonna have some campaign of disinformation about him, like in the bots, some of these conspiracy theories. Oh, he's a snake, and oh, he was secretly, this and that, deep state, and just these gross conspiracy theories. And this just strikes me as somebody coming up with the whatever story they come up for, smearing him. And then to confirm that, this was on the bottom, 6 of Swords, that would be him trying to get to calmer waters. Like, this would be him leaving the job, and then this happening. But ultimately, and then I wanted clarification, and I got the Sun, which is a wonderful card. It's a new beginning, and he, with the world and the Sun, he's gonna be just fine. And so that's great. Good for him. I will be sorry if he gets fired because we need him, but maybe there'll be another operation that he will be able to get his information out. So we'll see if I'm right, and I hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, and if you like this video or other videos, please like and subscribe so you know when another one is popping up. It really helps so that other people find my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.